There is no doubt. We know today that stress is a killer in the workforce. Hello, my name is Greg Story. I'm the president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan, and I'm the author of the bestseller Japan Sales Mastery. We're coming to you from the High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. And this is part of a series on doing business in Japan. And I recently talked about worry, and today I want to talk a little bit about stress. They're not quite the same thing. Stress is probably a bit of a more broadly based subject. Many things are going to trigger that. But we do have stress, and we know that it does affect our health. We know that it affects our performance. And stress is something that tends to hang around for a long time. Stress builds up over a long time. It tends to be rather deep in the things that we're worried about. It sort of tends to well up in us. And often we wonder what we can do about that. We're just sort of putting up with it. But actual fact, we're not really fixing it. We're not really diminishing it. It's just continuing. So what can we do about stress? In business in Japan, and Japan is a place that will give you lots of stress. Trust me, decisions take a long time to happen here. There are certain regulatory barriers. Currency movements can go against you. It's hard to break in when you're the angel they don't know. They'd rather go for the devil they do know. There's lots and lots of things in business can give you stress. And then you've got the problems. You're running your own team, trying to hire people, trying to keep people, people getting sick, people getting older. You just go to the list. I could just spend the next hour just listing up all the types of things that give you stress in business in Japan. That's great. Probably got them already. But what do we do about these things? Well, one of the things we have to do is really clarify what is the problem that's causing us the stress. And as I say, there are probably many things giving us stress, but they often tend to be a bit subliminal because we're trying to work above that. But they're sort of there under the base, but we're not really getting rid of them. But they're not really being clarified clearly what it is that is the problem. So first thing is, define. What is the actual problem that's causing the stress? Write it down. Somehow, don't ask me how, but somehow the act of writing it down brings clarity. That thought process brings clarity to the problem. Get it down on paper. What is the problem? Now, the next step is very important. What is the cause of this problem? And this is really a difficult thing sometimes to isolate out. And often we don't think about the cause. We're just sort of rushing around worrying about the actual problem itself. We're not really digging deep into what is causing this problem. And this is where it becomes very important to deleting, eliminating, reducing our stress is to get down to what's the causal factor here. And that's not usually, I say, you've got to think about it. You've got to really think, what is the problem? You may have a number of problems. Great. List them up. Get them in some priority order. And then go through them. What is the problem? What's causing this? And actually you might find that the causes are quite similar or are the same thing, which are triggering different aspects of problems or stress for you. So what is the problem or problems? Get them down. Get them into some sort of order for yourself there. What's the worst one? What's the second worst one? Third worst one? Blah, blah, blah. What's causing it? See if there are any themes there. See if there's any similarities there. And then, what are some ideas that I can come up with to deal with this problem? So you do a little bit of brainstorming, right? You sort of sit there and think to yourself, what can I do? Here's the problem. This is what's causing it. What can I do to fix that problem? And you start working on that. And then you start getting a whole bunch of ideas out. Then the same thing, apply a priority to those ideas, because they'll just be random ideas, free-flowing ideas as you're brainstorming by yourself. Then you say, I've got a number of solutions here. Start prioritizing. Which one do I think is the most viable, the most practical, going to have the most impact, thing I can do most quickly? What is that thing that will eliminate this cause of the problem? And you start to isolate out which are the elements of success here to get rid of that problem. Get them into some sort of priority ranking as well of which ones you're going to tackle first. And what that does, it's very helpful because now we've gone from a sort of misty, worry, lots of stress going on, not really clarified yet, to very clear what it is, what is causing it, what can I do about it, what is the thing I should choose to work on first. Roadmap, right there is the roadmap. That's a big help to get action. That's a big help to get the stress down because now we feel, I've identified the problem. I know what to do about it. Here's my roadmap. All I now need to do is execute. And as leaders, particularly, we're trained to execute. We know, here's the plan, execute on the plan. We've come up with a plan. how to deal with our stress. And of course, there are many, many more things we can do around stress. But as one of the sort of great building blocks of reducing stress, this is a good one because it hones into what is the cause of what is your problem here that's giving you the stress. And once you find a means of dealing with that cause, eliminating that cause, then the problem will go away and therefore the stress comes down. Just keep repeating that process for all of the problems that you've identified, and you will find over time you'll have a series of roadmaps, things that are concrete, things that are practical, things that you know how to do, and you can do quickly, and then your whole stress will come down. One additional thing I would say, Dale Carnegie, who's the founder of our company, he wrote an entire book on this. It's called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And the title is very interesting. He knew that people were holding themselves back in their lives. They were shortchanging themselves in their lives. They were putting things off that they should have enjoyed in their lives because the stress was holding them down. The worry was holding them down. So he said, okay, here's how you stop worrying, because here's some things you can do concretely about it. So you can actually enjoy your life. You can enjoy your leadership role. You can enjoy being in the company. You can enjoy being in your section and enjoy your work, enjoy your life. So very practical book, very practical book. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. You can get it, bookstores, read it, because it's really a very comprehensive guide to how to get around these stress issues. And, if the alcohol solution you've gone to isn't working for you to cure your stress, and it won't, if this sort of yoga, solution isn't really helping you because while you're at yoga, you still got this sort of subliminal worry there, this might be a solution for you. There's some things to think about for reducing your stress, and you need to reduce your stress. We know that stress is a killer. Strokes, heart attacks, health conditions are related to these psychosomatic issues around worry and stress. So this is all well documented today. This is not theory, this is reality. We know that. We've got to get our stress in order. Here's the simple one way of doing it today, but please read that book. There's many, many other things in there which will help you. I want you to reduce your stress. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthier, as we all need to be in business here in Japan.